Welcome students. This is my channel Imbibe Sciences, and in that we will going to study about the class 9th, which belongs to ICSE board chemistry. In this channel I am going to take your chemistry, physics and biology classes. Today I am teach you about the chemistry subject, and in that chemistry subject today I am taking a subject of a chapter that means atomic structure and chemical bonding. And that we will going to study about the isotopes first. So in this chapter that belongs to the atomic structure and chemical bonding, what we will going to study about isotopes. As in previous lectures, we discussed about the atomic structure and their subatomic particles. So here I'm just giving you a quick recap regarding of this. So for example, this is our atom, and that atom having a subatomic particles like nucleus. That nucleus made up of a neutrons plus proton. Okay. As well as there are number of electrons which are moving around the nucleus in their particular energy shell. Okay. Or we can say that energy levels. Understand my point? In that particular electrons which are negative in nature moving around the nucleus and maintain the balance, or we can say in appropriate word, counter the charge, because in proton we have positive charge and in electron we have negative charge. So to counter the balance of a positive charge, because on your nucleus there is a positive charge on it and neutrons are of a neutral one, that means there is no charge of negative as well as a positive. Okay, so there are two moieties in concern of a atom. As we know, in a periodic table there are number of elements. Okay, and they have a proper arrangements too in that table, and that periodic table is given by the Mendeleev, and there are number of evolutionary changes may happen in a periodic table after making that, but initially and as a final result we have a number of elements in a periodic table which have their proper arrangement, and that arrangement on the basis of a atomic number. So we need to understand what is atomic number. So I'm not going to so much deep today, because I'm already discussed in my previous lecture about all this atom, atomic particles, periodic table arrangement, and what is a Z number. So here I'm just giving you make a connection between the previous lecture and the today's lecture that we will going to be discuss about the isotopes. So I'm just making some connections between them. So this is your presentation of any element which is a member of a periodic table. So it's A is your atomic mass. What it is? Atomic mass. That atomic mass is consisted by, or can say it is a product of neutron plus proton. Okay, and that denoted by the solid bracket and in A. Now the next one is your Z, that is your atomic number, and that atomic number is very important because number of elements which is present in your periodic table, they are actually arranged because of the atomic number, and that atomic number is what? It is a number of protons. Okay, so to counter that balance, because protons is what? Positive in nature. So to counter that balance, proton and electrons should be in a equal ratio if we are considering a neutral atom. Okay, so this is your electron, which is also a equal ratio. So we can consider that Z equals to P and P equals to E. E that means electron, P that means proton, and Z your atomic number. So as I discussed, number of elements present in a periodic table, and they have a particular atomic number, and on the basis of their atomic number they arranged in periodic table. Okay, so what is a difference in case of isotopes? So isotopes are of what? As I am giving you an idea, so just write a definition about the isotopes. So I am going to discuss about isotopes in detail now. I am taking another color pen, so it may easier for you to connect or to make a difference between the normal element and what is the actual difference between the isotopes. So the isotopes are of what? Isotopes are atoms of the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. Hopefully अभी आपको समझ नहीं आया होगा. अब हम इसको थोड़ा सा elaborate करके समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. So the atom is what? That is having a particular Z number or A number, that means atomic number or atomic mass number. But in case of a isotopes atom, मतलब कि जो atom isotopes की properties को characterized करते हैं या फिर उसकी properties को show करते हैं, उनके अंदर क्या है? That means they have a same element. For example, X. For example, X. Okay. They have a same atomic number. मतलब number of X are there and they have a same atomic number but different atomic mass. So these are the isotopes. After discussing about the isotopes, I am just giving you one example because science is a very interesting field. If you are giving with the help of examples, with the layman examples, with the imaginary things, with the practical examples, so it is very easy for you to understand the sciences. So the isotopes example, for example, hydrogen. Hydrogen having a one electron, or we can say an atomic structure in an atomic way. That means hydrogen atom has only one electron in their electron shell or energy level. If I am making a one clear diagram of hydrogen, so this is one electron. Okay, so what is a presentation of hydrogen? Like this, जैसे कि हमने आपको बताया था, this is a A and this is a Z to present any element. Okay, now the next one, if I am going to discuss about the hydrogen with an example, और अगर मैं इस situation पे यहाँ पे लगाती हूँ, now what it will be? That means a different atomic mass. So the same atomic number. If I am enhancing with 2, if I am enhancing with the 3. Okay, so these are the isotopes of hydrogen. Understand my point? So these are the points of a hydrogens, or we can say a variation in a mass. Okay, now the question is this: how that particular mass is going to be changed? So the answer is because of neutrons variation. मतलब neutron number may change in all the atoms. Neutrons are present where? In the nucleus. This is a nucleus. And this is your neutron. I'm just giving you a very proper idea about this. So just a minute. This is a nucleus and there is a neutron plus proton, and this is your what? Nucleus. So in case of a hydrogen, as we have only one, and that particular one is made up by a neutron plus proton. So in case of a 1H1, there is no neutron. Neutron is 0. So the result is 1 proton. So in case of a hydrogen, only proton is there inside of a nucleus. Okay. Hopefully you can connect my points one by one. If we are adding one neutron in hydrogen atom, so what it will be? The proton number is same, that is Z is same, and neutron plus proton going to be changed. That means 1 plus 1, because that one is neutron and this one is proton, previous one. So the reason is 2. Now this one is what? Isotope. Hopefully you understand again. The same, if we are adding 2 neutrons, so it will be 2 plus 1. 1 is your proton and 1 is your 2 is a 2 neutrons. Now if we are adding in a hydrogen, so in case of a hydrogen, only the atomic number is 1 because the proton is always 1. Because only the neutron moiety is going to be changed again and again. Now it becomes 3 in nature. Okay, so this one is your protium. I am using a different color pen now, so it will be more easy for you to understand. This one is a protium. This one is O. And that particular is known as a deuterium. And this one is your tritium. Okay, so this is a basic concept of isotopes, and there are number of isotopes are present. For example, as we discussed about the hydrogen, the same with the oxygen, as an atom of oxygen, because in a single one, that is known as by what? Oxygen atom. When it becomes O and O bonding, now it becomes what? O2. O2 having a double bond between them. So this is our oxygen, and that oxygen having a 3 isotope, or that means they are present in a 3 isotope form. How and when? This is your oxygen and this is your atomic number of oxygen. So it's double 1 because जितने proton होते हैं उतने ही neutron present होते हैं. तो 8 plus 8, this is your 16 atomic mass number of oxygen. Okay. If we are talking about the isotopic behavior of oxygen, so we need to be add one neutron in their nucleus. So 16 plus 1 is your 17 neutrons, and the proton number is still constant. Now the next one, oxygen 8, 18. Now this one is your again oxygen. The another one, if I am moving again with the topic, so the next one is your carbon. Carbon is very much important in that way. So the carbon actual number is your what? Carbon 12, 6. That means 6 is a proton number or a atomic number, and 6 plus 6, 12 is the atomic mass of a carbon. If we adding 1, so 13, 6. 14, say 6. And that one is very important in a radioactivity studies. Radioactivity studies are what? Radioactivity that is actually giving you very good results in radioactivity related techniques like radiothermal, radioactive microscopy, radioactive, any type of analyzing processes that we can use for any impression. तो उस काम के लिए हमको रेडियो एक्टिविटी बेस्ड आइसोटोप्स की और एलिमेंट्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. फॉर दैट वी विल यूज कार्बन. That particular carbon, which is your 14C, is known by a radiocarbon. It's just a piece of information for you to upgrade or enhance your knowledge. Okay, this is your 14C, which is a radioactive isotope of carbon and which is very unstable in nature. And they both, these particular, that is your 12 carbon and 13 carbon, are not a radioactive elements. Only the radioactive elements is a radiocarbon, which is 14C. And in general, or in a broad category, we are using a radioactive elements. Okay. Now after that, the very important about the properties of isotopes. Properties of isotopes in terms of their nature regarding the physical and chemical. That means physical properties and chemical properties. So if we are talking about the properties of any element, so that will be distributed in two parts. One is your physical and another one is your chemical. That means very simple, because NaCl is what? It's a simple salt. That simple salt having a two properties. One is your physical property, which looks like white, which look like little bit granular in nature, and chemical properties, that means it can easily dissolve in a water. It is giving a taste. There is no chemical reaction with the environment. So these are the chemical properties regarding of that simple salt. So in case of a physical property and the chemical property, we will going to be divided our particular combination or a particular unique element. Okay, so I'm just enhancing with that particular one. So the chemical properties of any element, it depends on a Z1. That means any element as in the form of a chemical properties based on Z. What is meaning of a Z? That is your atomic number. And that atomic number is what? Number of protons, as we discussed. And in case of a physical properties, they based on atomic mass. That means based on a neutron plus proton. So in case of isotopes, if we are talking, so isotopes vary on the basis of atomic mass. Isotopes vary in atomic mass. Say yes or no? Yes. So the physical properties of isotopes is going to be vary, but properties of just a minute, but properties of chemical properties will not going to be changed. Those are the constant one, because those are based on what? Atomic number. So it's a very easy to understand isotopes definition, isotopes nature in terms of a physical property or a chemical properties, and number of examples are there regarding the isotopes, like oxygen I discussed, carbon and hydrogen. And in case of a hydrogen, there are three one that we discussed already. Just a minute, I'm just giving you an idea about. So these are the chemistry point of view, like this one. So this is a hydrogen, which is actually available as in the form of isotopes of a protium, deuterium and tritium. And in case of oxygen, there are number of isotopes are also there. And in case of a carbon, we discussed about the two types of three types of isotopes, in which one is your radioactive element, that is known as by a radiocarbon. So it's a clear description about the isotopes, and you can take that particular concept in your subject. So I'm just repeating once again that definition. Please write down. So the definition is what? Isotopes are atoms. Isotopes are the atoms of the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. Okay, thank you. And we will meet again regarding different topic in the same chapter, atomic structure and chemical bonding. So if you like my video, so please like it, subscribe it, and share with your friends. And I'll be move again with the same concept, easy concept of a different topics for you ICSE students. Thank you.